Yeah, good morning, everyone. Hope I'm audible and everyone can see my screen here. Everyone, am I audible? You could see my screen. Yes, no. Yes, okay. So, where are we, guys? I think in the last class, we were looking into, uh, yeah, we were looking into the concept of how do we set the store to your complete application, right? So, before that, let me log into this as I have logged into my current, like my personal system. One challenging what we have is I don't have the same MongoDB connection here. So let me open my MongoDB connection. Let me create the same MongoDB database. So what is the okay, okay. So when we go with our server, what is the common under that? We will use So the database name what we created is this guy. I need to have the same database under my local machine. I don't have this guy. Let me create a database here with the same name and we'll take sample collection also for validate user credentials. What is the collection name? User credentials, right? So I'm creating the same collection name, create database. So these guys there, let me add a data into this, insert, say some hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just insert this document. Yeah, this is done. Now, and we even need some data for the product details also. What is the collection name we were going with the collection? Sorry, for storing the product details is this guy. Let me create a collection here. Product details, create collection. And for the product details, we can simply import that. We already have that data file being created, right? So I'll go with the server under the public and that data, under that the product data. Okay, so import. So this is how the data got imported. Now my system database is ready. Let us go with the login. When I click on login, test at the rate gmail.com. Hello, 1, 2. In fact, this guy didn't got any response. Sorry, request. npm start. Now I click on login. Course. Why the course guy has come? We already enabled the course setup, right? So if we go into our app.js for the course, okay, you see here, there, okay, yeah, this is course 5173 is the one, the port number, what I mentioned that it is what do you say, allowed origins. But in my local, I had changed the port number 5174. It is not responding back because it is not authorized. Okay, so let me make 5173 and 5174 also here. Okay, let us restart your server. Test by where is our server? Server guy, instead of doing npm start, let us go with nodemon start, which will auto restart. Okay, okay, so let's go with this login. Assume password. Okay, I click on this login. Now, okay, password. This is how the page is getting displayed. Fine for us, right? At the same time, we have even implemented the concept of like whenever we click on add to cart, there is an object which is getting created. Okay, so whenever we click on this add to cart, the state is getting updated with the data. Okay, that we have already done with that. We have created the slice, we have created the slice, we have created the store, we have used the using directly in the state itself so that everybody like anyone who access our store they will be accessing the store what do you say their state only, right? So while they're accessing their state they will be getting their updated data. Okay, so this state is getting updated. Decrement we have not done anything, we'll do that. Okay, but before doing this decrement we have to access this data. So how we are going to go with accessing this data? Accessing the data should be done under this card, right? So when we go with that is a header.tsx, right? Where is that header.tsx? Okay, this is the server. Let's go into the components under the header.tsx. This is what we have. Okay, okay. So under the headers, like, did we use the use selector? No. Okay, so we were taking the reference of the previous project also. Let me open that dot also so that it will be easy. You guys can connecting the dots. So we already know that use selected is the hook what we'll be using anytime we have to read the data from the store. So let us see, open folder. So this guy, right? This is like a reference for you guys. Anytime, any in future, any of the like when you're working in the project and all, anytime you want to refer any of the examples, just go through with this. Okay, so here if you see, we created this Redux part and under this example, for example, component 2. So if you see here, he is using use dispatcher and use selector. Use dispatcher to send the actions to the store, use selector in order to read the data from the store. Now, in order to read the data from the store, what actually you need to do? Use selector, and obviously you're going to get the state dot so and so. Okay, so I'm going to make use the same in our header.tsx. So under your header.tsx, I'm going to say this. Okay, so this is not the counter value. We are going to get the card details. Card details is equal to use selector state. Under the state, we don't want to get the counter dot value, but under the state, we would like to get the where is the slice? Under that guy, we want to get the state dot card details, right? So state dot card details. Okay, so this is the card details what we have received. Super fine. And when we are going, and this guy has to be imported. Use navigate. So this is the router DOM. Yeah, we will say something called as import use selector from your reader. Okay, but when I say card details, let us see how the card details are getting rendered here. Where we can show that. Okay, where we can show that. Okay, let us keep it out here for some time. Excuse me. So I say JSON.stringify card details. I mean, generally, this is my way of working when I go with the, what do you say, whenever I go with the real time, right? So this is my way of working whenever I want to see the data in the particular component. So I'll just render that guy on the page. so that it will be easy for me to see the changes instead of opening the console and getting the data. Okay, so let us see this guy. I don't see any data here. Okay, but this is in color black. Okay. Uh, Let us see. So password hello 123. I click on login. Okay. Now when I click on this add to cart, why I'm not seeing the data here. Why I'm not getting the start details here. We have done use selector, React Redux, and when we say use selector, we should be able to get the state, right? Yes. State of like unknown anything. Use selector, state is getting updated here. Why we couldn't able to access the state? Have we added any items to cart? That is what we are seeing here in the console, right? So you see count is becoming 1. When I say add cart, you see this guy count is becoming 2. So this data has to come. So what we are missing here, and you can speak out if you guys want. Am I missing anything? Under your headers, details, and start fields, use selector. Whenever there is a change on this guy, the state has to automatically get updated. Otherwise, other question is count details. Let us say count is equal to 2. Assume let's say I'm starting with a new initial state itself as 2. Yeah. Now in that case, I need to get the state data. See, this count is there along with 1 is getting appended. State is getting appended super fine, but while reading the data, we are having the issue. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let us try to access the state guy even in the uh, product details component, because this is the component who is actually dispatching the event. So along with the use dispatch, you say use selector. Once again, I will get as a charger. Okay, So I say use selector define our used, say where uh, card details from store is equal to so and so. Details from store. When I say add to cart, something is missing, guys. We couldn't able to access the store data. Why so? Why so? What is the missing part? Okay, so let us say how we created a slice. This is the value counted so and so. So we have updated this. This is always updating the so and so. Counted dot reducer. We have exported the reducers and the so and so and counted reducer. Reducer, card counter, and the card slice. Yeah, this is fine, right? So this is the configuration button. This is the store which is getting updated. What am I missing, guys? Date dot card details. See, when I'm accessing the data from the store, it is coming as undefined. Why so? Why it is undefined? We are getting this date and so and so. Any questions, guys? Any idea? What do you think we are missing? You guys could unmute yourself, right? Okay.
Once could you go to store?
It comes to be okay.
Could you
Go to
please
store.
move on to store?
In store, we are specifying what is the slice has to be used. Export default configure store. Okay.
Sir, while reading using use selector, we should not use like state dot card counter dot.
While reading the data. Okay, forget about. I mean, at least later I have to say card details dot so and so. But at least like I need to get this object right. So first of all, I should able to receive this guy. Where is that state dot card details? So initial state, not card details. At least I should able to access that guy.
Sir, in
Later we'll
store,
see count or so and so.
There in store, card counter is there.
Line number, please.
Go to store, sir.
Okay. This is the counter what we have mentioned. Okay, so here we mentioned as counter, reducer, which is this guy. Where are we using this counter? State dot counter dot value, right? So in that case, do one thing. Instead of directly consoling this guy, we would have consoled the state. Where is this guy? Let's get the state bus so that the complete state will tell you, right? Okay. So this guy will be, so you see here, as I said, right, this is my way of debugging or my way of doing it. So it is like more simple so that like you can see the object structure here itself. You can start working on it. So it will be, where is that? Like, okay, our expectation is actually in header details. Card counter dot card details. Okay. Excuse me. So now this card details, where are we displaying? I was displaying somewhere. Yeah, here we are displaying in the header part. In the product selector, I am removing this guy, not accessing that guy there. Or else we'll keep this guy like this. Okay, so the login in the product selector component. You see, under the product selector, I'm actually updating the cart. Do you getting updated? Super fine. But my expectation is we also need to have state dot card details is all data is there. My expectation is total count should be also been tracked instead of we writing the logic of every time getting this. Now, if you see product one got updated, I mean product one is one time one piece we needed. Product three is one. Product four is one, whereas product one is count two. Now, how do I get the counts of each and every key within this JSON object? Right? So how we can do that? Let's put the logic of this guy. So we'll do one thing. Whenever we are putting the count, anyway, it is coming over here itself. Temp data dot count plus plus. At the same time, let's do this guy also, right? State dot instead of count, total number of items in cart, right? Cool. So now the advantage is anytime we are updating the cart, by default, this is zero. Whenever I click on add to cart, total number of items is one. Items in the cart is automatically showing as value for us, right? So in this case, what I can do is when I want to show the zero value, right? This is our expectation. Instead of showing all this data, let us show the total number of items in cart, right? So what I can do inside the header.tsx is card details. Where was that card icon? Here it is. Card details dot total number of items in the cart. Now, once I go back, you see here, when I reload the page, it is 0. And okay, let me remove this UI part also. Okay, so I am just coming to sign in. I say test so and so. I say password 123. I click on login. Okay, now when I'm clicking on add to cart, do you see? I mean, this is actually being done at your what do you say? Product component. This is product details component. But is getting updated in the cart of the header TSX also? That is why we go with the state management. Whenever I'm doing this add to cart, automatically my cart is getting updated. Are we clear up to this, guys? Any questions? Anyone, any piece of questions?
Sir, like I have a doubt. Sir, what is the reason like you are dealing with this card updation details only using Redux? Why can't we do it normally?
Why can't we do it normally? Normally, in the sense, Paman, you
Which
have
is
the
a
same
global.
question. You have the same question when we were talking about when we were talking in Redux, Swati, you also asked the same. Let's create a simple JSON object. Let's store it in the same and read that and keep it as a common JSON file and read it across the application, right? I mean, now it is
Yes.
also the same question, right?
Like sir, like the things which we which can be used in multiple components throughout the application, then we need to go for Redux, right? Like here, like
Yes,
any such kind of situation.
we have it right now in this application. We have two independent components. Two independent components want this data. In general, do you think that we could able to access the data between two components? No, right?
No, no. So we can also do it using like context API. But
Come on, one
like
second.
which scenarios?
Get context is only used one way. Two way, it is not possible. In order to do that, we were using the get context along with the use reducer, right? Get context is just reading the data. For example, title, which is common, which has to be shared across the application, that can be accessible. State value change is not available in your get context. Am I right?
Uh, yeah, yeah. Sir. No,
That
sir.
is
I'm not
where,
talking about
okay,
that.
so
Sir, previous before implementing Redux, like we have implemented everything normally, right?
no,
Uh,
before implementing the Redux, I mean, in the current application, you're saying,
yeah, yes, sir. Before
no, in the
implementing, we
current
are just
application,
incrementing card
yeah, we were doing it, but
normally.
that value we were doing only in the product component, and header guy can never able to use it. Here, this header is a separate component. That guy
Sir,
could
why
never
can't
able to use.
we wrap it in the app component so that using provider context provider we can store that card value, right?
That is what, right? What is what I'm saying? Okay, do you think that only reading the data? For example, there is a separate other component. Now we are going to create a view product details. Under that, now I have to read the card details at the same time I may delete also. Implies I'm doing an action. Is it is possible by using the use context actions?
Yeah, any sir, in that case, when you're deleting, it is going to the card values will be updated in the same component, right? Where we are implementing the logic.
Oh, no,
Since we are using only the card value in the
no, no, no,
header,
no, no,
that
no.
will
Once again,
update, right?
if I'm deleting the data in the card, Do I need to update this header guy also, or only in the view card? It has to be across according. I mean, it has to be across the multiple components, right?
So because this is a header, it is common throughout the application, right? Automatically the cart value will change.
Automatically, the cart value will change. How come?
No, no,
This
sir.
header is not at all. Okay, let me talk about this. There are
Actually, sir,
different. Yes, go ahead.
uh, no, what I'm thinking is previously, before implementing this redux, we have written the logic in the product details, like implementing the cart, right? So
The
in
object is
that
only
case,
specific to the product details. But what if I want to
huh,
share the data? I want to share the data, right? That is the reason I have gone for the state management.
whatever the manipulation, so what
Yes.
I'm asking is, why can't we use that only the cart value, right? Only 0, 1, 2, these values are incrementing and decrementing. That value we store it in a context and wrap it in the main app.js so that that only that value will reflect in the header, right?
Here, the project what we are creating is not just only to do the card details. For example, in future, user profile details are getting updated and the user session details are getting updated. For example, how do you get to know that user is signed in or not throughout different components? When I'm doing the logout in logout component, how the other routes are getting updated. So that is what we needed in future, right? We are okay. If you say that I'm using this Redux only to update and delete the card, yeah, you put that logic inside your product details, share only the value, so that that value. Now, if that is the case, why I'm actually storing this? Okay, if you go to this product, sorry, uh, if you see, go to the console. Whenever you are adding a product here, okay, I removed the console. Okay, if when I was removing the when I was clicking on this guy, state is also getting updated with what is the product ID and what is the count. But actually, we are using only the total count. Then what is the use of storing all of them inside the state? The reason is this is complete project. I might use now when I click on this guy. Okay, when I click on this cart icon, I will be redirecting him to the. Okay, let me do that. I will create a separate component here under components view card. Under that view card dot j6. Okay, so under this, okay, this is the view card. And this guy, let's go into where is our routes main block. Okay, so here, say route view card. Import card from so and so. Okay. Now, when I come back here, when I click on this view card, okay, this link has to be provided, right? Route is being specified, but where is the link? You had the .ts6. Did I use the link tag?
I'm also confused with this thing, sir, actually. Where we have to mention
Let me,
these links.
okay. Okay, let us come back. And now, when I want to view the count, I'm just coming over here. Now, under the view card, I want to show all the products. Now, you tell me where do you get this all the product IDs if you are not storing in the store? I want to show the list of all the products which are being added. I'm not only interested with the count of that guy, right? Right?
Yeah, sir. That is all. In order to see these things also, we have to
Yeah. So I mean
other
that
things
is great,
apart
right? I
from
mean
only
the
the content.
broader picture of the value, I mean broader picture of the project. We wanted a store so that like anything which I wanted, I can just keep it over there and I can retrieve it without independent of relation of those components. So hope you are clear why we are using Redux here, right?
Sir, we are going to implement this session, right? Viewing
Right.
the product car
I'll come to
details.
that. Obviously, I'll do. Are you clear now with that question? Previous question.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. You have a second question of
Yes, sir.
link type. What was that? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, without link also, like I'm confused way to use this link exactly after adding the routes.
Creative. Obviously, wherever
Like
you
in
needed
which
a route.
component
Now,
we have to use.
any component, like for example, this cart guy is there. On the main page, I already, I mean, under the main.jsx, what actually I have done here is under your main.jsx, main.tsx, I mentioned, not here, where was that main block? So here, I am training my application saying that for what route, what is the component which you have to load. That's it. Here, this guy is not responsible of loading the component. This guy is responsible of whenever URL will change to this guy, what is the component which has to be loaded. Now, who will tell us that? Who will change this URL? Obviously, the link guy. So when you go to this header, so here I wanted that guy. Whenever user clicks on the card, he has to go to the cart guy. That is the reason I have used link and I kept that link out here. Any other questions? Anyone? Are we good up to this?
Can you
Okay.
explain the component diagram architecture? How what are the components which is connecting?
I mean, for our project,
Yeah, this project after done. Maybe you can give an
but
overview of that. What are the diagrams? How what are the components used? Redux is where used. How the flow is happening.
shall I finish this view card part? Then I will create a picture of that. Is that fine?
Okay, sure.
Sure. Okay. Now, under the view card, let us come to this view card part. Where is the view? Okay, sorry, view card JSX. So here, obviously, he has to read the data from the store, right? So I have to say import. I have to say import use. How does that? Use selector. Sorry, I am confusing. How do we read the data from the state? Use selector only, right? Use selector from the Redux. And I say that where card details equal to so and so state dot, what was that guy? State dot card counter dot card details. Okay, I have the card details being shown here. But my requirement is I have to now how do I know the product details? If you see, when I'm binding this guy, when I'm binding on this guy into view card, this is what I have. I know product 1, product 6, product 7, and product 8 to be shown. But how do I get to know that? How do I get to know the product details of it? When I'm showing the view card, I have to show him what is the product image, smaller title, and what is the price of it, right? Then how do I show that? So shall I go with view card? I mean, first thing what I need to do is I need to again hit the API. Get product details API has to be hit. Now you get only the product details data whose ID is one so and so so and so. Okay. So what I will do is I will say use effect so and so. Whenever the card details are getting updated, you have to hit this guy. Okay. So what is the first thing you need to do? Where product IDs is equal to object dot keys. Obviously, whenever I say object dot keys, it will automatically give you an array of all the keys here. Now I need to say Axios dot post or Axios dot get also works. Or else like anyway, we already added a post guy, right? So get products by so and so. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm creating a new service which is called as get products by ID, where I'm passing the product IDs. Now I need to get the response of this. But this guy I have used. I mean, I'm just making use of it. But do I need to have a web service also there? Yes. So let us go with this web service. Guys, you pause me whenever you're not understanding. Okay, this is again jumping from the client side to the server side. Close all. Okay, now I'm coming to the server side again because I need to create a web service here. Now, under that, I'm saying get products by IDs.js. Okay, what is the basic structure? You can actually get it from your index.js.
Sir, for each request, we have to create one web service.
For each request, you have to create one web service. Actually, yes, but there is an option. For example, validate user credentials and get product details can be merged. No way, because these two are independent service. Whereas coming to get product IDs and get product details, can we combine? Yes, we can do that. That we can modify. Do you guys want me to create a new service or you want to modify it? I'm okay to do anything.
Which is recommended in real time, sir? I think separate web services are recommended.
Separate web service is recommended, but when we are working on the same collection, when it get product details is working on the same collection, right? Based
Yes.
on the data, but based on the user query, we should able to change the logic.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll modify the same what is it, same web service itself. Is it fine with everyone? Okay.
So just
So
create separately and versus.
okay, you are intelligent. I mean, you said like both in that case. Okay, so let's go with the separate one. I'll say where product IDs. What is the IDs which is being passed? User has said something called as user.query.products, but it's not query, it is body because we are making it as post. Okay, this guy is a post. Did I made it as post only? Where is the JSX?
Yeah, it was post only.
Yeah, it is a post, right? So I'm creating the service also as post product ID so and so. But now I need to go with get DB connection. Get what was the code we have written? Get MongoDB connection. dbutil dot get MongoDB connection product ID so and so. Get MongoDB connection. What is the first parameter? We need to pass the data. We are passing the product IDs. What is the web service? Sorry, what is the collection name? The collection name is product details. And we are going to find them. Console log response, JS response dot send. Awesome, right? So this is what we have. Yeah, that's it. So, but here, when it is find products, I will say, so that when I'm going with get MongoDB connection, we are going to put a condition here. We have never checked the condition. We were directly passing the type. Okay, we are checking the condition, right? If else if type is equal to find products, I need to say find product ID dollar in the product IDs, not the product IDs actually, it is the data. Yeah, data dot product IDs. Okay, so and this guy will be returning the array for us. Okay, let us try this. And yeah, first thing is we need to create a web service for this guy under app.js. What was the service name I was using there? App.js. Where get product details router so and so app.use get product details, but this is this guy. Okay, API products get product IDs. Very good. Let us come back. Reload the page. Mhm. Actually, protecting the routes also we have to see. Like when I restarted the server, view card should not show the data. It has to redirect back. We will do that. I say test so and so. I say hello 123. Click on login. What was that? Hello 123 only, right? Can someone add this remember ID password, guys? Remember ID password, putting in eye icon. So this is where you guys can improvise this, guy. Come on, what was the password?
Remember means we have to
Hello.
store it in.
Test
Just
one.
store it in the local storage.
Okay.
Okay, I said hello 123. But when I click on login, something broken. Why so? Uncaught so and so. User credentials is failing. Why so? Oh, there is an issue with the database. Line number 16, we missed some place. Who was that? Okay, now you have this card details. Now when I click on add to cart and I click on add to cart, I click on add to cart. Okay, there are 4 cart items. Now when I'm going with this view cart, get product IDs is pending. Why so? It is throwing error. Let us see what is the payload we are passing. Why the hell we are passing this total number of items in cart? That we should not pass it, right? But because that is part of object, it is going along with that. So let's manually remove this. Where was that? Under your view cart. Under your view cart, when I am getting the keys, product IDs dot pop. Pop. Anyway, it'll automatically remove the last one. Okay. Now let us reload this. Now once I reload the page, product ID is empty. Obviously, it is not going. We'll go with sign in. There's Gmail. 1, 2, 3. Login. This is fine. Now I click on add to cart. I click on add to cart. Now I click on view cart. Pending and failing. But at least are we sending the right data? Yes. Okay. Now let us see what is the issue with the data server side. You see, from web services, get Mongo data connection, data is coming as empty. Why so? Uh, Let us go into the web service under the DB utils. It is coming over here. Type is equal to find products collection dot find product ID. Oh, it is not product ID, right? It is ID. Because if you see in your DB, when you go with the product details, the key is ID. But one more thing, what I wanted is I have to convert this guy into string. Sorry, into string because that is coming as string here. It has to be converted into number. Where can I do that? Under your web service, whenever I'm getting this product IDs, I'll go with product IDs dot is equal to product IDs dot map of percentage. Okay, it will be converted into numbers. Now let us see this. Sign in, login, add to cart, add to cart, and add to cart. Cart getting updated. When I go with this cart, it is pending and failing. Why the reason? Response, no response. Restarting due to changes. Why so? Why it is not responding the data? Okay, let us see what is the query which it is sending.
Sir, what if we pass a complete collection data to it, sir, when we click add to cart?
One second, I'll just tell you. So when I say this guy, I want to see what is the query we are actually passing. Data dot product IDs. Okay. Say add to cart. I say add to cart. Now I say view cart. Get product IDs is pending. What is the you see here the query itself is not going. Why the reason? Okay. From get Mongo connection, does it reach there? That is for user credentials, it has come. But for this guy, it didn't even went there. So get product IDs, dbutil dot so oh my god, why the hell I have done this response dot send? It should not be out here, right? Product IDs, this should be after this. say add to cart. When I say cart, payload, we are passing as one. In the server, it is saying get slash product slash details. Okay. Does it reach here? Why is this guys coming? Password manager, change the password. You see here, it is not even coming over here. Why the reason? It is not even hitting this web service. Then what is the web service it is hitting? Under app.js API slash product get product details by ID router. ID router is routes get products by IDs. This guy only, right? IDs. Yeah, this has to come here. Why this service itself is not getting involved? Why this service itself is not getting involved? Router.post. Just give me a second, guys. Yeah, sorry, guys. Okay, so what we got is post or get product details. What is missing? It is not invoking this web service. Again, some other small thing we are missing. Product details router. Routes, get product details, get product ID. But you know one thing, why I'm hitting this get product details, it should be API product get product IDs, right? This web service is not getting hit. Yeah, it has to hit this guy, get product IDs.
Sir, 8080.
When I'm consoling, when I'm going with network, the web
Sir,
service is get
localhost.
product.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, we have given localhost 8080.
So it should be 3000, right? I'm hitting the wrong server itself. Just not silly mistakes. Okay, that is where wrong to depend upon AI. Okay, so add to cart, and when I click on this cart, the product details are getting. What is the response I got? The response I got is only for the two products. You see here, I got the data of what are the two products which are being added by the user. Okay, shall I go with again depending on AI just to create the UI component for this, like how the view cart products will be displayed. Okay, so what I'll do is this is the uh, okay, this is the product details. So I'll just depend only for the UI changes. Okay, UI component, how does it looks for multiple products? Being part of React online shopping app development, considering the below product object structure, provide a React component to show multiple products in view cart.
Is it in real time? Is it good idea to copy the actual data and submit and check with AI?
The data you're seeing,
Yes, the actual data from the payload we are taking, right?
that is what, right? If you remember, I mentioned this when you go to the organization wise, here, I mean, if you see in my organization, right, the Copilot comes to two tabs. One is web and one is work. When the Copilot is actually, when these guys are configuring the Copilot in your organization, they make sure the data is not shared to the outside world. That is only into your private cloud. So that is the reason that is fine. Okay, so we have this cart view, something like this. Shall we go for this? Cart view, React.fc. What is this React.fc? View cart, product details length. Component has to use Bootstrap CSS. Okay, this is how we have this view card. Let us see. Let's copy and see. If it is not working, we'll get it back. Under the view card, I'll go with only this look and feel. Only this look and feel.
Sir, after hitting API, we are getting object. That object you are copied to get the look and feel, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I gave that object to that guy so that he will understand what is the structure of our object. So this guy, let's write commerce products, set products. Okay, this is what I have. Let's see how it is showing. Come on, why the hell it is showing this way? I don't want like this one. I'm expecting like a row wise. try this. Did right. Hmm. Write the component by where are details to be shown in the form of a grid with showing image, price, small description. You see, small description in the sense he has sliced it to 60. But is it is the same look and feel? Let us see. Good. Okay. Also wanted something like uh, each product in card details should also have option to increase number of items or else increase item count. Also, card should display the total price of card. Okay, let us go with this. Haven't I copied completely? Okay. Total price is not defined. Okay. We'll see. We'll see how do we calculate the total price. But for now, let us say const total price. Don't want all this. Okay, let us see this. So this is how the cart is getting updated. Okay, this is the view cart what we have done. Okay, the first thing is on click of remove, it has to be removed. At the same time, under the cart also, it has to get deleted. Okay. So yeah, any questions up to this, guys? Are we on the same page, everyone? I have not done anything. I'm not copying the business logic. The logic we are writing by one, but the look and feel, you guys are already clear with how do we create this look and feel and all, right? So instead of we doing it, like we are just depending upon the like AI to create the component. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone?
Sir,
Good.
Bootstrap is using whenever it is creating by AI.
I mean, no, no. If you remember earlier when we were creating the component, it was by default using something called as Tailwind. So as our project is already using Bootstrap, so I asked him to create the whatever the component he is creating, just to give us with this what do you say,
React
the
Bootstrap.
Bootstrap itself by default Bootstrap.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So
So do
the
we need to specify, sir, if we want to get CSS or something? Whenever we are creating this UI look and feel, we have to specify which one we have to
Yeah,
use.
obviously, what we wanted from the if you see whatever the prompt I have given, it's all like in the this bot is helping us based on the prompt we are giving. That is the reason we have this prompt engineers and all. I mean, the more the clear prompt you give, the bot is going to return back with that response.
Okay.
Okay. So next is when I click on this remove. First of all, let us go with the remove action. Okay. So in order to use this remove, then you need to use the use dispatcher also. Okay. In order, anytime you want to use the action items, you have to go with the use dispatcher. But use dispatcher, we have to go with. At the same time, we need to import this actions also, right? Where is that? Hmm. Where is the header.tsx? Not header.tsx, main.tsx, product details.tsx. So we have to import the use dispatch and what is the action which you want to, what do you say, which you want to update, right? I mean, what is the action which you want to perform on the component or what you on the state that also we need to go for. So here I have used the increment count. But here, when you go with our slice, where is the slice? Our slice, which is increment cart, decrement cart. Okay. So let us export this decrement cart, which will be imported in your view cart. I say import increment and decrement cart, but increment won't be needed because we'll be having a separate increment of only product count, not the complete product. That will be writing a separate logic. So this decrement cart, how you're going to make use. Hmm. So this decrement cart, okay. So dispatcher, just making use of it. But we need to pass the payload for this. Okay. Yeah. We'll do one thing. Even for the dispatcher of this decrement, we do the same. What is the product ID which has to be deleted? That is what we will pass. Okay. So I'll go with product details under your view card. dispatcher of so and so. What is this dispatcher? Where dispatcher is equal to use dispatch, and this guy, the dispatcher will be called what is being called on remove? On remove. Where is the method like on remove? We haven't written. So let us say function on remove product ID. Dispatcher decrement card product ID. Okay, that's it. Now, when I go to this decrement card, where is this decrement card? It is coming over here. For this guy, we will be getting the state and we will be getting the action, right? So under this, let us say console.log from decrement cart, console.log action.payload. Okay, let us see what is the payload. At the same time, console.log, what is the state dot card details. Okay, let us see this, what all actually we are having. So that we'll see what is the action to be done. Okay, let us come back. Let us go with sign in. I say email address, password, hello123. I go for login. Okay, when I click on add to cart, add to cart, add to cart, I'll go for view cart. This is how it is. When I'm inspecting this guy, go to console. Okay, now if you see here, when I'm removing this, decrement action is getting called. Super fine. He is even telling what is the product ID which has to be deleted. Okay. At the same time, where is the state data? Haven't I consoled the state data? I said right, state dot decrement is state dot why the state dot card details has not come. Dot card details. Details from card. Okay. Why the state data has not been shown? Action.payload, we could able to get it. Why not the state? Why not the state? Is it just because of this? No, we should able to access the state. State dot card details. State has to get updated because these are the reducers. Card. Okay, as we have time up, guys, I mean, let's pause it for today. Tomorrow, I'll see like how we could able to get it. Now, two things what we are pending over here is whenever we do the remove,